There's a reason why flex culture is so popular. When we see beautiful photos, it gives us a little escape. It makes us dream. Xin chào các bạn, mình là Brooklyn Day. Hi friends, it's Brooklyn here, and thank you for liking the stories I've been telling on this channel. All of your likes, comments, and subscriptions really have helped me grow this channel. So today I want to talk about something that many of us see every single day: social media, and more specifically, flex culture. I promise you are going to learn a lot of good vocabulary and how to pronounce them correctly in this episode. So make sure to watch until the end. So, flex culture is when people show off a certain kind of lifestyle. Usually expensive things like luxury bags, fancy vacations, or a new car. You might scroll through Instagram or TikTok and see someone drinking coffee at a 5-star hotel wearing designer bags and captioning it with something like, "Just a normal Thursday." Sound familiar? Let's talk about why this kind of content is both loved and hated, and what it's actually doing to our mindset. And by the way, this church is actually where Vu and I got married, so it's kind of fun to get to share it with you guys today. There's a reason why flex culture is so popular. When we see beautiful photos, it gives us a little escape. It makes us dream. Maybe you're at work or studying and you open TikTok for a break. You see a couple traveling in Europe, eating croissants in Paris, or someone buys the latest iPhone and unboxes it in a perfect, clean room. It's interesting, it's exciting, and honestly, it's kind of fun. Some people say it impacts their motivation. Like, wow, I want to work hard so I can have that lifestyle too. And maybe that's not a bad thing. We all need role models. We all need inspiration. And in a way, flexing is just a modern way of saying, "Look what I've accomplished." But that's only one side of the story. Let's be honest. When we see these posts, we also feel something else: pressure. Maybe we look around at our own life and think, "Why is my apartment so small?" Or, "I'm still using a 3-year-old phone." This kind of comparison can quietly hurt our confidence. Comparison, with an emphasis on the second syllable. Comparison. This means looking at things or people that are different than us. And here's the thing. Most people only curate the best parts of their lives online. Curate. Curate with an emphasis on the first syllable. This means to carefully choose or organize content, especially online, to show a certain image. Curate. They post the expensive dinner, but not the instant noodles they ate the next day. They post gym selfies, but not the 3 days they spent in bed feeling sad. They're putting on a show. I once heard someone say that social media is like a museum of happiness. Everyone's life looks perfect, but it's not real. Now, the phrase to put on a show means to behave or act in a way that is not real just to impress others. So, all that glitters is not gold. And even though we know this, it still affects us. That phrase, all that glitters is not gold, means that not everything that looks good or fancy is actually valuable or true. Social media makes us feel like we're connected to everyone, but in some ways, it also makes us live in a bubble. This phrase, live in a bubble, means that you are unaware of the real world or truth because you're only focused on one kind of life. It's like there's a bubble around you and you can't see outside it. Live in a bubble. We start to think everyone is successful. Everyone is traveling. Everyone has money except me. But this isn't true. We're just seeing a small group of people showing the best version of their life again and again and again. Sometimes people try to fake it till they make it. Fake it till you make it is an idiom that means you are pretending to be successful or are confident until you actually are. Sometimes it's a useful tactic to help you get through whatever's hard, but sometimes not so much. They rent luxury cars, borrow clothes, or even go into debt just to post something impressive. It becomes less about real life and more about image. And that can be dangerous because over time, we start to believe that our identity is only valuable if we're admired online. Identity, with an emphasis on the second syllable. Identity. This is the way someone sees themselves or how others see them. Identity. Let's talk about validation. Validation. Validation with an emphasis on the third syllable. This is the feeling of being accepted or approved by others. Validation. Posting something online and getting likes and comments, it feels good. That little heart icon gives us a quick shot of happiness. But the more we rely on this kind of attention, the more we feel like we need it to be okay. And when the likes stop, what then? I once met a student who told me she felt anxious if her Instagram photo didn't get enough likes in the first 10 minutes. She even deleted a post because she thought it wasn't good enough. This is not just about fun. This is about how social media affects our mental health and the way we see ourselves. Now, I'm not saying all flexing is bad. Sometimes people are just proud. They worked hard for something and they want to share it. That's totally okay. The problem is when we begin to believe that this is what life is supposed to look like all the time. We forget that behind every perfect photo, there's real life, messy, imperfect, and completely normal. And that's why I think we need to develop a healthier mindset about social media. Instead of feeling less than, we can remind ourselves the grass is always greener on the other side. But every life has its ups and downs. That idiom, the grass is always greener on the other side, means that we always think others have it better than we do, but in reality, that's not always necessarily true. So, what can we do? First, be honest with yourself. If certain accounts make you feel bad about your life, unfollow them. It's okay to protect your peace. Second, follow people who show real, authentic content. People who talk about their struggles, not just their success. Authentic. Authentic with an emphasis on the second syllable. This means real, true, or honest. Authentic. Third, think before you post. Are you sharing something because it brings you joy or because you want to impress? And finally, talk to your friends. Many people feel the same pressure, but no one says it out loud. When you open up, others might too. Let me tell you something from my own experience. When I first moved to Vietnam, I didn't have a fancy apartment or an expensive car. I still don't. I was new. I was figuring things out. But when I looked online, I saw people living in big high-rise buildings, eating sushi at fancy restaurants, and traveling every weekend. And I thought, am I doing something wrong? Later, I found out many of those people came from rich families and they just like to show their lifestyle online to make them feel good. So I stopped comparing and started focusing on what felt good to me. And that's what I hope for you too. Flex culture isn't going away anytime soon, but we can choose how we respond to it. We can enjoy the inspiration, but still stay grounded. To stay grounded is to maintain or keep a calm, stable, and realistic perspective. Stay grounded. We can dream big, but also be kind to ourselves. And most importantly, we can remember that we are more than what we post. Our value isn't measured in likes. It's measured in how we treat people, how we grow, and how we show up for ourselves, both online and offline. All right, thanks for listening, friends. If you like this story, let me know in the comments. What do you think about flex culture? Have you ever felt pressure to post something just to keep up? All right, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and don't forget to be real.